Alright, coldest take of the world right here. The Corvette is one of the coolest cars around. Now, whether you consider it a sports car, a muscle car, or somewhere in between, there's no denying the sheer bossness radiating off of any one of them. Yes, even the worst one, the C4. Don't feel bad, just because you're the least attractive doesn't mean you're ugly. But what exactly got the Corvette to what it was today? Was it as easy as designing a cool car and sending it off to the factories? Not exactly. The Corvette was designed through concepts, where basically companies throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and sees what sticks. These cars usually don't get made, but sometimes they provide insight into what the public wants, and toned down versions of them actually make it to production. Today, we're going to look at the best concepts and just talk about how cool they are and stuff. First things first, I want to shout out to my channel members, all two of them, Mel's and Dropkick. I appreciate y'all joining. Those two get to see all of my videos early, and if you want to see them early too, you can join by clicking that join button down below. Love y'all. Also, Redbubble. I take photos of cars. I sell photos of cars. I put them on t-shirts, posters, and everything else. Buy them up. Link down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, Corvette concepts are certainly not few and far between, so there's a fair chance that your favorite might not be on this list. That doesn't mean they're not cool, it just means they're not as cool. Let me know if I missed any crucial ones down below. Number 1, the Chevy Nomad. No, not that one. That one. The original concept from 1953. Yes, believe it or not, the initial Nomad design wasn't based off the Bel Air, but instead was based off the Corvette series of cars. And honestly, I kinda absolutely love it. It's like the El Camino of sports cars, except instead of hauling lumber, you're hauling children. Back in 1953, Chevrolet introduced the Corvette Nomad, blending the sleek sports car design of the Corvette with the practicality of a wagon. It had the front end of a C1 but stretched into a two-door long roof design. The idea? Give Americans a stylish way to haul their gear without sacrificing performance. Under the hood, the Nomad packed a 150 horsepower 3.9 liter Blue Flame inline 6. Sure, by today's standards, that's about as powerful as riding a lawnmower, but back in the 1950s, it was enough to make you feel like you were king of the road. Fun fact, even though this specific concept never made it to production, the Nomad name lived on in Chevrolet's wagon lineup. And modern custom builders have revived the idea with Corvette shooting brakes. Now, I do videography for a living, and this thing would be perfect for what I want. Two-door cool, and all the equipment that I need. So, Chevy, bring it back. Please. Number 2, the 1959 Corvette XP87. Hot Wheels fans, this one's for you. The XP87, also known as the Stingray Racer, was a game changer and became the foundation for the 1963 Corvette Stingray. It had a super lightweight aluminum frame, a fuel-injected 283 cubic inch V8 spitting out 315 horsepower, and an aerodynamic, for the time, body that looks straight out of the future. Now remember, people say like, oh, it looks like future, but this car looks like it's late 60s to early 70s. This came out in the 50s. This thing looked insane for its time. The XP87 was originally built as an experimental race car, and it didn't disappoint. The car was tested extensively. It competed in various races, proving its mettle on the racetrack, and its lightweight body and advanced aerodynamics made it incredibly fast and agile. It wasn't just for show either. This thing dominated the track. It won its class at the SCCA National Championship in 1960 and directly influenced the split-window C2 Corvette we all know and love. Here, I'm putting them on screen for you, just look at how similar these things look. With its aggressive styling and lightweight construction, the XP87 set the stage for performance Corvettes that would follow for decades. Also, it was driven by the worst driver in Hot Wheels World Race. I mean it, Marky's Donkey Balls. Number 3, the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette GS2. Long before the modern mid-engine C8, I don't know why I said that so weird, Chevy was already playing around with mid-engine Corvette concepts. Enter the GS2, a radical aluminum-bodied car with a rear-mounted engine. It was intended to be a race car and featured a lightweight design inspired by aircraft engineering. However, it looks more like a Mohawk punk rocker. The GS2 was powered by a 327 cubic inch V8, pushing it to almost 200 miles per hour. This setup was meant to challenge Ferrari and Porsche on the racetrack, but corporate politics and rule changes killed the dream before it could really take off. Yeah, this is just one of the many times GM flirted with a mid-engine Corvette, only to get cold feet at the last possible second. Only took you almost 60 years later, guys. Sadly, it never saw actual competition, but it proved that GM had been considering a mid-engine layout decades before it became a reality in 2020. If this had gone into production, who knows, maybe Corvette would have beaten Ferrari at their own game years earlier. Lord knows I'm a sucker for watching Ferrari suck it. Number 4, the 1965 Mako Shark 1 concept. The XP87 was the first step towards a Stingray. The Mako Shark was the ultimate evolution. This thing looked menacing with razor-sharp lines, side exit exhausts, and a pointed nose inspired by, you guessed it, a shark. It also introduces features like hidden headlights and fiber optic instrumentation, which later made their way into production models. Powering this was a 327 cubic inch V8, and if that wasn't enough to impress you, it also had an adjustable suspension and interior straight out of a sci-fi movie. One of the most interesting things about the Mako Shark 1 is how its design process unfolded. The story goes that GM's VP of design had a taxidermied Mako shark mounted on his office wall and insisted that a car match the exact colors of the fish. When the paint team couldn't quite nail it, they supposedly repainted the fish instead. Now, whether that's true or not, it's an awesome story that adds to the car's legend. Now, also, while we're here, I want to talk about the Mako Shark 2 concept, which is equally as cool, it's just more aimed towards C3s. These concepts are both just sick, and I just, you can't mention one without the other, so I thought I'd put both of them here. Number 5, the 1969 Astro 3 concept. The Astro 3 was straight up out of a sci-fi movie. It looks more jet fighter than a car, and for good reason. It was powered by a gas turbine motor. Yep, no V8 here, just pure experimental craziness. It had a 3-wheel design with 2 front wheels close together and 1 rear wheel in the back. Under the hood, also behind the driver, was a Boeing gas turbine engine producing 317 horsepower. Now, that might not sound like much, but remember, this thing weighed next to nothing and sounded like a fighter jet on wheels. We are talking about 1,966 pounds, people. Interior is pretty sick too. Pistol grip steering wheel, television, and of course a power actuated canopy, because in the future people don't have doors, they just hop in the top. That's just a thing that was really popular in like space age stuff. Like you see it in Star Wars, you see it everywhere. Nothing has a side opening door. This was GM testing the limits of alternative propulsion. The turbine engine was super advanced but wildly impractical for mass production due to heat output and fuel consumption. Nothing like going too fast in a school zone and melting a child. While putting a jet engine in a road car never really caught on, the Astro 3 proved that Chevy was willing to push boundaries and dream big. If nothing else, it showed that concept cars could look just as wild as something out of Star Wars. Number 6, the 1986 Corvette Indy concept. The Corvette Indy was a mid-engine concept that screamed supercar. With a sleek futuristic body inspired by IndyCar racers, this thing looked ready to tear up the track. Something else that's just sick about this car is that it was basically created to show off all the tech Chevy could cram into a single car. Satellite navigation, cathode ray tube instrument display, and even an electronic throttle control system. Now, this doesn't sound impressive now, but 2 of these ended up being used in the real world, and this is like one of the first times they showed out in the public. Under the hood, it packed a 2.65-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 600 horsepower, a ridiculous number for the 80s. Hell, even now, it had an all-wheel drive system, active suspension, a rear-view camera, and was even made mostly completely out of carbon fiber, something that wasn't common at all in the 80s. GM was really showing off. Number 7, the 1990 Serve 3. The Serve 3 was an evolution of the Indy concept but turned up to 11. It had a 5.7-liter V8 cranking out 650 horsepower. Could hit 225 miles per hour, making it faster than almost anything on the road at the time. Now, what's really surprising is that it was a transverse mounted rear engine layout instead of that aimed forward design. It was sideways, similar to how a lot of front wheel drive cars are operated, except it was in the back, like a supercar. It also shoved a crap ton of tech into what was admittedly a small package. Hailed as the most advanced Corvette to date, it included an updated injection system, active suspension system, computer-controlled rear steering, and the coolest part of all, scissor doors. GM debated making it a production model, but it was too expensive, priced at anywhere between $300,000 and $400,000 per unit. If they had, the 90s supercar scene would have had a Corvette going toe-to-toe with Ferrari and Lamborghini. But the lessons it taught weren't just pissed away, and if you look closely, you'll be able to see several design cues in the C5. Number 8, the 2009 Corvette Stingray concept. This is a futuristic reimagining of the Corvette, blending classic Stingray styling with a modern aggressive design. It had a mid-engine layout years before the actual C8 arrived. The 2009 concept is one of my favorites, as it's very obviously influenced by the classic Stingray, but there's a lot of heritage from other models in it as well. Like most situations, I'm obsessed with this thing's rear end, as it looks even better than it does come from the front. Lord knows I'm a butt man. While GM never revealed exact power figures, it's said to be a hybrid combining a V8 with electric motors for enhanced performance. And if it's anything like Cadillac, it sounded insane. It also appeared in the Transformers movie as Sideswipe, proving it was cool enough to be a Hollywood star. And that wraps everything up. I hope you enjoyed learning about Corvette concepts with me. Some of this crap is just so outlandish that I would never guess they were Vette concepts in the first place. What do you expect? The Corvette is GM's flagship vehicle. There's a reason it's their last muscle car standing, if you even still consider it one. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Redbubble, and feel free to join my members. Y'all love getting videos early. I will see you all in the next one.